Well, happy new day, everyone. Here we are, lifestyle creation endeavor, experiment experience, and this is original horn, which I found dangling in there, right? Now, there's not much going on how to actually wire these things if you're a bit of a novice. Now, fortunately, my dad is an experienced electrician, and I picked his brain because Google wasn't giving me the answers I wanted, so I'm doing a little video to provide you with that information. So you can see this is the original horn. Now, positive to the original terminal. I'm testing this out at the moment. You can see I'm using a rivet there. So the basics of it all is the earth works through the bracket. So the reason why this original horn wasn't working is simply because when I found it floating down in there, it wasn't mounted to the chassis, creating an earth. Now with modern cars, it'll be connected to the negative and positive terminal, just because most modern cars are not as conductive in the chassis as older cars are. So when I bought this horn to replace this horn, you can see it's the diaphragm. I was of the impression that blue meant earth, so on and so forth, and there's no terminals. Didn't even come with any mounting bolts. So that's the mounting bracket, and the idea is to mount it somewhere in there. I've taken the dome off just to try and figure things out. Now this little section here is a screw you can use to push the what's called the diaphragm, or a plate, out or in, and this changes the pitch. So if I just put this down here, so that's how you wire these things up. No one's actually showing you how to fucking wire anything up. So what will happen is this will go into the original terminal. Obviously I'll go and get my little terminal box and fix that up, and then this mounts to this chassis or firewall. So in this case, if let's do like a dry fit, I'm going to get a metal, self-tapping metal screw and screw that in, and I can do the same with this horn, because now that I know this horn works, I'll mount the two together like that, and then run this wire to here, obviously connecting this as well. So there'll be a positive lead coming out of this terminal, which I'll connect to here, and then run a wire from there into the original terminal to the original horn, and then that'll allow me to press the horn on the steering wheel, and we're good to go. So we'll pause it, we'll wire it up. So this is just testing at the moment, and away we go. Alrighty folks, so just a little update. How am I going about wiring this eBay snail horn, that by the time you look at all the reviews, it's not 300 decibels. Based on the data, that's really fucking loud. It's not even as loud as a jet engine apparently. On the original horn, we zoom in here, you can see it's 105 decibels at 3 amps. Okay, it's original Toyota horn, and I got it working, and there it's got a nice little bing. As I mentioned previously, this little horn, most horns, this pushes the little plate in and out. but this had to be a certain way in before it would work. It's got a bit of a pitch to it. This one has it as well, but it's been glued and you've got to take this dome off. Okay, so what I've done here is obviously stripped these two wires. Now I've got these wires out of a 2-prong lamp lead, and what I'll do is I'll use this sheath to try and cover these up. Okay, so how I've done this here, as you can imagine, this here is a prong larger than this, of course. It's just for demonstration. And then what I've done is twisted these two together, put them in a black sheath like so, and then where the wire's sticking out the end here, I threaded over a smaller diameter shrink sheath or tubing, and then what I've done is push this over with the wire, okay, connecting this prong, which is here. Okay, so if you can imagine, use your wonderful imagination, two wires are twisted together, the copper making contact with one of the prongs, and then what I've done is shrink the two wires together and then used a smaller diameter shrink tubing and shrunk that over the wire and this prong terminal to create some type of contact with that. Okay, and then I've taped it together as neat as can be, and this will give me the two positives that will run to the original horn terminal. So the theory will be, now I've made it long enough, if I dare do desire or have the option where I can mount this somewhere else. Let's see if I can keep it simple, Simon. I'll earth these two together and with this end, because I didn't have any spade bits, what I had to do is just use the pliers to squeeze these ends a little bit, and that fits into the female terminal on the original horn connection. And then obviously I'll shrink this, but what I do to get a better connection is I take this off. Alright, so that's that. Now the battery's going flat, so let's see if I can get a final shot when I'm done.